Well, hello. You joined me on a somewhat impromptu good morning non-live walk. So today we are talking about one of the big problems I have with the UK left, and that is optics. So what is optics? Well, you've all heard, I'm sure, the expression that first impressions count. And that is the same in politics. What you do and what you say is the very perception of how people perceive you as a party, as a group, and as essentially a political entity. And optics are really, really important, because if you do something bad, then you are practically giving the other side ammunition to fire against you, where if you have good optics, then you can use your good standing and good situation to fire back against people like Boris Johnson, even the Conservatives, and even people like Jacob Rees-Mogg, who claim Christian values while essentially stealing food essentially from children, as we saw during the school meals crisis and debacle just last summer. So optics are really, really important. But this week, shall we say, there has been some rumours that Starmer intends to purge groups from the Labour Party. Now, if he wants to do that, fine. I'm not in agreement with him doing that, because, again, if Labour ever wants to win, it needs the left's backing. And as I always say to people on the left, if we ever want to get in power, the only way we do that is through the Labour Party. So being a member of the Labour Party and being able to vote, put people into committees, having say at what goes on in our national policy manifesto is very, very important. People on my channel will always know, I always say, you can get more done with 1 foot in the door than you can 2 feet outside it. So there has been a lot of hoopla about this, and even pushback from other MPs saying, no, don't do that, Starmer, it's dumb. But yesterday, there was a huge furore on Twitter where a guy called Ken Locke was trending. Now, Ken Locke, if you don't know who he is he's a very, very popular British activist, bit of a British filmmaker, very, very much a Labour supporter. And he was pretty much the front man against a group called Labour Against the Witch Hunt, which was basically saying, look, all you guys who are going after this supposed, anti-Semitism in the Labour Party, you're turning it into a witch hunt. It doesn't need to be that. But, unfortunately, there is now a move to purge that group from the Labour Party. Now, again, I've said I'm against that because, again, it's a very dumb idea. Starmer needs the left. Despite how much he might hate it, and the other people who are especially the Blairites in the party might hate the fact that there are left people in the party, they have to acquiesce to the fact that there are people in the left and that they're never going to get into power if they don't compromise with the left, just as such that we'll never get into power if we never compromise with them, because at the moment we are not strong enough in the Labour Party to be able to exert, our will on the party to get the stuff we want. And I've always said I'd rather be in a situation where we could get like 50% of the progressive policies that we want on our in the next election manifesto. That would be fantastic. But of course, with Ken Locke trending on Twitter, there were hundreds of I'm not sure how many, but there were lots of people again saying and displaying their cut up Labour membership cards, to which I say that is dumb, because you are giving exactly the people who want you out of the party the perfect excuse to start doing even more stuff, to start moving the party more back to what it was, a very much a centrist right party back when it became almost that under Blair. But even Blair knew there had to be a fine balance between keeping your left side support while at the same time appealing more to the centrists, because in the UK, even though on the internet it's a bit of a meme to be a centrist, in the UK, time and time again, whenever they've done surveys saying, where do you stand? Are you a leftist or are you on the right? Time and time again, 25% say they're on the left, 25% say they're on the right. And in the middle, there's a big 33% chunk of people saying that they are centrists. And as we know, you cannot win a majority in Parliament with just 25%. You have to at least get 40%. So at any general election, we are going to have to be able to attract to our side at least 25% of that vote to be able to secure a majority in Parliament for the Labour Party. And I know there are a lot of people out there who do not want to compromise, but unfortunately, with the system that we are in, with first past the post, we are going to have to do that. And as much as I would like to change the voting system to a, proportional representation elected by a single transferable vote, we cannot do that unless we win the race in the first past the post system. We have to accept that is the reality that we are in. So when I see people, cutting up their Labour Party cards, it's a dumb idea. As I just said a few moments ago, you only get to be able to exert pressure on the Labour Party from the inside. Outside, they don't care. Inside, they do. And hence why I'll echo that immortal phrase that I just said a few moments ago. You can get more done when you've got 1 foot in the door than you can 2 feet outside it. And it's going to be very, very amusing to see how lots of these people who then left the Labour Party can't vote for progressive candidates, can't vote for progressive ideas that we want in the Labour Party, can't change how the Labour Party wants. I want, for example, Labour MPs to be elected by having, a series of talks and letting people then, the local Labour parties in that area, be able to vote for their candidate of choice. That, I think, would be the perfect way to help people select an MP. But we can't change that unless there are progressives in the party willing and able to ready to vote to do that. And the only way you get a vote to do that is if you join the Labour Party. So I find it hugely hilarious when there are just performative people saying that we're just going to leave the Labour Party and leave everything else to that. So that's my annoyed rant about, well, it's not a rant, but my feelings that I've seen very much yesterday about the left in the UK. So, as always, if you do like what I've had to say, then please do hit that like, share and subscribe button. And of course, down below there are links to my Patreon page and a one-off donation link called Buy Me a Coffee, where you can, buy me a coffee. And as always, thank you very much to all those people who support the channel. And of course, we'll see you all next time.